Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about the dangers of IOUs. And I'm also going to tell you my personal experience because personally I'm just starting to learn about ICOs or initial coin offerings, like what they are and how they work. And in this process, I found out about IOUs. And when I found out about them, I was I was like kind of like wow, like I was very amazed that this even exists, and I thought this could really confuse some people, which is why I'm making this video. Um, so like I mean I went from being amazed to freaked out to excited, and then to disappointed, and then I'll talk about how that happened too. Um, so basically, IOUs. What IOUs are is usually a informal statement of debt. So it's like like if you borrow your friend's money to buy something and then you say, I'll pay you back later. That's what an IOU is. Now, in the context of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, apparently what some exchanges would do is that they would allow you to trade an IOU of a token rather than the actual token itself. And it would look like the same as if you were buying the actual token, um, which is very weird. So an example of such an exchange is HitBTC. So now let's go on their website. They have an FAQ. So on their FAQ, they have a section for ICOs. On here, you don't see any questions about IOUs, but if you click into their questions, on their very first question, what is an ICO? They explain what that is, and then they go directly into IOU. So basically, you're able to trade tokens on this exchange before it's even actually available. So what that is an IOU. It's not the coin themselves, but an obligation. And when the fundraising is over, then the IOUs then transform into the actual tokens. And then like if you look into like how they're why they're doing this, here's this question. It's because of convenience. Like why it's convenient to participate in ICO on HitBTC. Basically, you don't need to spend time looking for the ICOs and figuring out how to join them. You just go to HitBTC, give them the money, and say, hey, I want these tokens, and give it to me when they're ready. So basically, like when the ICO is over and when the tokens are released to the public, then you get the tokens, which sounds like okay, I can kind of see that. However, in practice, what happens is that it gets very messed up. So I'm going to talk about a recent ICO as an example, but this is not particular to them. It really happens with a lot of ICOs. So the ICO I'm going to talk about is Agrello Delta. So Agrello is the foundation that develops Delta, and Delta is the token. And this ICO happened between July 16th and August 17th. And during this time, like I was on vacation, I was like very busy, and I just like missed it entirely. And then I found out about them like somewhere like here, like after August 17th. And I read a little bit about them, and I was like, maybe should I buy some? And that was the time when like the ICO has ended, and then the token hasn't been released to the public. So there's about a month of time during which it's actually not possible to buy the actual tokens anywhere. But I didn't know that. I was just looking online. I was looking at like CoinMarketCap, what is their price, and like where are you getting that price from? And it comes from HitBTC. So I found HitBTC and found them on HitBTC. This is Agrello Delta being traded on HitBTC. And like as you'll notice, like you don't see any difference between this and an actual like this is an IOU being traded, but you don't see the difference between that versus an actual token. Um, so basically, I bought some, and then when I found out it was an IOU, I sold it. So let's take a look at the price chart here. So this is the price history of Delta on HitBTC. You can see that it started trading on July 15th, which is like a day before the ICO started, or it might have been the time zone difference, or it was a pre-ICO, which they also have. So anyway, started trading July 15th. And then during this whole time, these are actually IOUs being traded. And first of all, why this is dangerous is that the volume, the low bars here are volumes. The volume is very, very low. And what that means is that anyone can come here and buy a few tokens at, say, higher and higher prices and change the price that way. So that means that it's very, very vulnerable to price manipulations, or what people would call pump and dump schemes. So like you can see here, like over here, this was being traded at 0.005691 BTC, and it comes out to around like 24 US dollars. And then you can see this very high bar here. Oh, but by the way, the ICO price was around 50 US cents. So 50 cents versus $24. All right, and then you can see like this very high bar over here. This was a very high price, and I think there was at some point when some token holders that put it on Blockfolio, when they woke up, they found out that they were like billionaires. But that was a very brief moment in time that soon ended as the price came down. So the point is, the price is very, very volatile when it is an IOU, because there's very little buyers and sellers, and just two random people can agree on the price, and then now it is that price. So so back to my story, I bought it at some point when it was an IOU, and then when I found out it was an IOU, I sold it, but I actually ended up making a profit. And I think that like there is a way to profit off of this if like you just have to know exactly when the tokens are gonna be released, which is when it stops being an IOU, and you like should not be holding the token at that time. However, previous to that, there is a possibility of trading that at your own risk. I think the price would probably go up. So basically, you can buy it and then sell it before it becomes an actual token. Because what happens when it becomes an actual token is that the price usually comes crashing down to the price of the actual ICO, which was 50 cents. So if you had bought around $24 and then held it, then you would have lost a lot of money. So that wouldn't be good. And then it gets a bit exciting, right? Because just this morning, this coin started trading on Ether Delta, which is, and these are the actual tokens now. Now, like, and look at the price now. Like oh my goodness, it is 0.0009 ethers. Now it's ethers and not BTC. Now, point. Let's like do the math quickly. 0.0009 ethers, like times like 300 is like 27 cents. So yeah, so now it's being traded at 27 cents, which is like way less than even the ICO price. So okay, so now like I was looking at this morning, and here are like two screenshots from this morning. There they are. So this morning, this coin was being traded both on Ether Delta and on HIT BTC at very, very different prices. So it's being traded on Ether Delta at around like 50 cents, and then it was being traded on HIT BTC at around like I think it was like $12. So that's like a huge price discrepancy. And then so if you look at this and you think about it, you start realizing that you can arbitrage off of this. Like you can buy deltas at 50 cents on Ether Delta, transfer it over to HIT BTC, and sell it for $12, and you make a riskless profit, which is what an arbitrage is. So I started getting very excited, and I started trying to do that. So I bought some Ether Delta here at 50 cents, and then I try to deposit it on HIT BTC. So here's my account on HIT BTC. Here is a Grello Delta, and then I try to deposit. And then when you hit deposit, what do you know? Now, of all times, that's when they tell you it's an IOU, and they're like, because it's an IOU, we're not allowing withdrawals or deposits. So basically, I can't do the arbitrage because I can't get deltas into this exchange. Like I can buy them and sell them within the exchange, but I can't get them in. So there's that, and I was very disappointed. Yeah, and so actually, like, if you go back to their FAQs, there's a question: how can I deposit ICO coins or sell them, right? So it's basically saying that when the tokens are released, only verified market makers and ICO communities who chose our site for primary placement are able to deposit ICO to hit BTC. So basically, like, retail investors, regular people can't deposit them on their exchange. So that's why you can't do the arbitrage. However, to look on the plus side of this, now we actually have a way of telling if a token is an IOU or an actual token. What you do is you try to deposit or withdraw, and it won't let you, and it'll tell you it's an IOU. So basically, in conclusion, be very careful of IOUs. You shouldn't hold an IOU through to when it becomes a token. And you can't arbitrage off of them. That's it. Thank you for listening.